operators. Okay. So tell me, so what is relational operators?
Equal to, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, less than, greater than.
Correct. I'm asking what is relational operators?
It is used to compare the values of the variable.
Compare the values of the variable. Okay. Right. So this relational operators, so which help us to find the relation between two operands. So right. So whether it will give either true or false depending upon the relation, right? So we can either, so it will say true or it is false, right? So relational operators, so we can specify in two ways in shell scripting. One is with the numbers, okay? So numbers, which is we can specify for equals to hyphen EQ, okay? EQ stands for equal, okay? For not equals to, we can specify NE, which is not equals to, not equal, okay? For less than, so we can specify LD, less than, okay? For less than or equal to, we can specify LE, okay? LE stands for less than or equal to, less than or, for greater than hyphen GT, greater than. The last one is greater than or equal to, okay? Greater than or equal to. So we can specify the relational operators with the help of these numbers, or we can specify in the strings also, okay? Strings. So for equals to, can say double equal, which stands for equal. For not equals to, similar way, exclamatory equals, okay, which stands for not equal. Okay. For less than or equal to, for less than, backward arrow mark, okay? For less than, less than. For less than or equal to, backward and equals, okay? Which stands for less than or equals to. For greater than, which is forward, okay? Forward arrow. Greater than. Greater than or equals to, or equals to. So in two ways we can represent the either numbers or we can either the strings. So we can represent the relational operators in our programs for conditions. Okay. So it's up to you, whichever the you want to use it, so you can use it. Okay. So let's use these relational operators today, and we will learn few of the conditions. Okay. So first we will start with if condition. Okay. First we will start with if conditions. So anyone worked on C programming previously? C or C++?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Ajit.
So what is if condition? So how it will be? Like any idea? Like what is?
Yes, so in if condition, we can write only one condition. In one, if that condition is true, so that program, sorry, that some set of block will be executed. So for this, there is no false block. There is only a true block.
So how about if else?
If else, there we will add if condition is true to execute first set of statements, then we'll add else part. In else part, we'll add a false block statement. If condition is true, it will execute. If it is false, second block.
Right. So generally in if statement, right? So if statement, so we'll specify a block of code. Okay. So we'll specify a block of code to be executed. Okay. So if that block of code is true, then we have some certain statement to be executed, right? Only if that condition is met, then only whatever the statement we mentioned in that else, sorry, in that if condition, right? So then only it will be true. Otherwise, our condition will be false. So it will go to the else statement. Okay. See that in today's program. So the syntax will be pretty simple. So in if we will specify a block of code, right? So which is our condition. Condition here we specify our condition. If this condition is met, if condition is true, then our statement to be executed here, right? Whatever the statement we mentioned, it should be executed in then statement. Okay. Otherwise it will be if this condition is false, so it is coming to else statement. Okay. Else, and whatever the statement we mentioned here, it will get executed and it will come out of the loop. Okay. If condition, it will come out of the if condition. It is very simple. We'll see in a small program. Okay. So then you will get to understand it. Okay. How, and also we'll debug how it will work. Okay. So let's say, let's try this if condition using small program. Okay. So which is check whether two numbers is equal or not. Okay. Two numbers is equal or not. Whatever the numbers we mentioned, right? That two numbers is equal or not. We'll see that using the if condition. Okay. So what is our first line in the program? What is our
Shebang
first
operator.
line?
Shebang.
Shebang operator.
Shebang, bish,
Bin
bash, bin bash.
bash or bin sh, whatever you want. You can mention. Okay. So now, so we are checking two numbers equal or not. Okay. So what I will do, I'll take two variables. Okay. I'll take two variables, which is A equals to, I'll say 3 and B equals to 4. Okay. I'm taking two variables and assigning the values. A equals to 3 and B equals to 4. Okay. So then I'll start with my if condition. Okay. So since it is very simple, which relational operators we can use here? Any idea? So we are checking two numbers is equals or not.
Equal operator. EQ.
Equal.
EQ.
EQ. Yes. So my first variable is I'm checking with A. So which is how to access the variable? How to access the variable?
Dollar symbol.
Dollar symbol.
Dollar symbol. Okay, don't forget it. Okay. Dollar $A. I'm accessing the first variable. Dollar $A space hyphen EQ. Okay. Hyphen EQ. Dollar my second variable, which is B. Okay, space, and I'm closing my square bracket. Okay, in then statement, if this condition is met, okay, if this condition is met, so I'm printing echo both numbers are equal. Both numbers are equal. This condition is met, right? Else, so it should print a message if both numbers are not equal sign. Both are different numbers. Both are different numbers. Okay, then I will close my statement. Okay, so let's see this program whether it will execute or not. Okay, I will say if one message. Okay, click sh if one dot sh. So we are getting both are different numbers. Correct, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Our number is 3 and 4. So it is not equal. So it is validating the number is not equal. Okay, so we can debug the program in Linux using command called. So if you specify set -x, okay, so then it will debug our program, like what it is doing in each line. So it will display on the terminal. Okay, so now if I execute this, right, so now you see my first variable is fetching a equal to 3, then second is b. So then a is 3 hyphen equals to 4, which is condition is false. Okay, condition is false, right? Then it is going to else statement, which is both are different numbers, right? So then we are getting this output. Yes or no? This is how the program we can debug. Clear if
Ashik,
condition?
what is Ashik, you have
Tell me.
written in the last you have written fi. What is it?
I'm closing the if condition. So I'm opening here if condition and I'm closing the if condition here.
It is symbolized as fi. Yeah?
Fi, yes. Closing is fi. Okay. In shell. Okay, just remember it. So the syntax should be correct, otherwise you will get an error. Okay, you will get an error. This is a small example on if else. So then similar way,
Ajit, we have to give then only, like after if condition.
yes, that is the syntax. So that is the syntax for if else.
Okay.
If, okay. So now the similar way we can discuss elif also. Okay. So how we can use elif? So elif is nothing but similar way of if else. Okay. Suppose if syntax, I will say syntax. Suppose if one condition, if my first condition is false. Okay. If my first condition is false, then statement, right? We are printing the statement, right? Statement. If my first condition is false, then again I have one more condition to check. So we can specify using elif. So we can check one more condition. If my first condition is false, we can check the one more condition also. Suppose if we have another condition, we can specify in the elif. Okay. In the elif, we can specify our condition and we can check, we can validate one more time if we have another condition, and we can print the statement. Okay. We can print the statement. Then statement. Then statement. So if second also failed, so we can simply specify else. Then so whatever the statement you want to print, that statement, then we can close our if condition. Clear? We'll see this how this elif condition is going to work. Okay. So for this, so we can take an example of biggest of two numbers. Okay. Biggest of two numbers. Right. So how we can write the program?
Ajit, shouldn't that be closed twice because we have two if statements?
No, not required. See,
Okay.
we have opened here.
Okay.
Again, we have opened here. So which is elif, then we are
Okay.
closing it. Okay. Okay. Don't get confused. This is how syntax. That's the reason I'm telling first syntax. Okay. So be familiar with the syntax first. Okay, everyone. Then you can easily write the programs. Okay. To find the biggest of two numbers. Biggest of two numbers. Okay. In bash, right? First. So here we are writing biggest of two numbers. Okay. So I'm not defining the variables here. I will take the input directly at the runtime. Okay. Directly at the runtime. Okay. For that, what we can do? How we can specify the values at the runtime? I'm not defining the variables here.
$1.
$1. Don't forget, yesterday only we discussed. $1 is my first input. So we are checking the biggest of two numbers, right? So what is the relational operator here? Which relational operator we can use?
GT greater than.
Greater
GT.
than, right? Hyphen
G.
GT. Hyphen GT. Then my second input, which is $2. Okay. Space. And we are going to then, and we need to print the statement. If this condition is true, we can say echo $1 is greater, right? $1 is greater. $1 is greater, right? So now we need to check the second condition, right? So if we use only if condition, so simply it will say we are not checking the second condition directly if you use if condition. So now since we are using elif, so we can check the condition of second number also, which is elif. So I'm checking the second condition $2 hyphen GT dollar, which is $2, sorry, $1. I'm comparing number 2 with number 1 now, right? Number 2 with number 1. So we can print now. Then echo $2 is greater. $2 is greater. So if both condition is false, right? So if both number are equal, then what we can say? Else, what we can say? If both numbers are equal in that case. Like both 1 and 2 are equal, like 2 and 2, then our both condition is false, right? This is also false, this is also false. Then
Yes.
we can say both are equal, right?
Yeah.
Say both are equal, right? Then I'm closing my if condition, right? Let's execute this and we'll see whether we are getting the expected output or not. Okay.
Ajit, it is else if, right? If you see line number 172, you have mentioned
F.
ELF, FI.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. It's just by mistake. Okay. Elif. Okay. Elif. So now save this message. So I'll give different numbers. Okay. So let's say my first number is 2 and second number is 5. Okay. So if I hit enter, 5 is greater, right? The 5 is the greater number. We are getting the expected output. So let's say now if I give first number as 5 and second number as 1, okay, so it says 5 is greater, right? Our condition are properly working. So if now let's say I will give both are equal now, 3 and 3, so it should say both are equal. Yes or no? We are getting a expected output, right?
Yes, sir.
Our program is working as expected according to our condition. So let's debug this. Set -x. So now if I give 3 and 3, see now you see it is going 3 in my first condition, both my first and second variables. So condition is false, it is not printing. Second condition is also going, condition is not met. So it is coming out, then it is going to the last our statement, both are equal, then it is printing both are equal. Yes. Similar way, if you give 3 and 2, so see here, in my first if condition, going for my first variable, which is 3, second is 2. So condition is met, 3 is greater, then it is coming out of the loop, then it says 3 is greater. Clear? If condition is met in first loop itself, then it is not going to the next loop, it is coming out of that loop and printing the message. Clear? How we can use the relational operators and how you can write if condition yes, no.
Ajit, for debugging, it is set -x.
Yes, set -x. So that again I will discuss. So I just wanted to show everyone. Okay.
Okay.
So now I'll give one assignment. Okay. Similar way. So now we've just written a program for biggest of 2 numbers, right? Similar way, you write an example. Okay. Program for biggest of 3 numbers. Okay. Assignment. Which is assignment 2. To find the biggest of 3 numbers. So for biggest of 3 numbers, okay, don't Google it anywhere. So write your own program, okay? So that is always good. If you Google it, you will not learn anything, okay? So I'll just give an hint. So what you have to do is
Ajit,
for
can we take in if condition if $1 is greater than $2, we'll get an 1 output. From getting that output, we can compare with the third output, right? Third number, like that.
right, wait, let me tell you how this will be there. You're asking for biggest of 3 numbers, right?
Yes, Ajit.
Okay, 1 second. Let me give you a hint how you can write a program for this. So here you have to meet 2 conditions, okay? So in first condition, so let's say, so you have to take first, you have to take the validate the arguments, okay? Like how to validate the arguments. So see here, we have a special variables, right? So in that special variables, $hash, right? $hash for number of arguments passed to the script, okay? So whether you are passing a 3 numbers or 4 numbers, so or you're passing a numbers or different characters or something like that, you have to validate using that special operators in the first if condition, okay? So whether that is equals to you are entering a 3 numbers or not, use this in first if condition, okay? First if condition, use this one, okay? From second, in elif onwards, elif, from elif, so you are comparing both first and second number, okay? First and second number, which is like you are comparing $1 is equals to $2, then you have to check compare with $2, sorry, dollar, again you are comparing with $1 with $3, third number, right? third number also we have to compare biggest of three numbers, right? Similar way, you can open another elif condition. Another elif condition, and you can similar way, you can do it for second number, which is 2. Now we did it compared with first number. For second number also you have to do it with third. Similar. Which is here it will be 2. Here it will be 3. So here it will be 2. We are checking the second number with third, second number with first number. Okay.
ఇప్పుడు అన్న క్లాస్ అవుతుందా అందులో గొడవ చేస్తాం తినేస్తాను
Yes, no. Second number with
Yes, sir.
first number. So like this. Then at the last, in the one more elif condition. So what else condition is pending?
Else.
That condition you have to write it and check it. Okay. So this is just a small hint. Okay. Just try this. If doesn't work, we can discuss in the next class. Okay. You can try. Okay. This is very small programs. Okay. You should write all this. So the next topic is while loop. Okay.
Ajit, do we need to mention any other operator here while adding two conditions in the same statement?
Yes, you need to use, see here.
Like and like that.
Correct. See, you are doing a comparing a two values, right? So you have to use double times ampersand and, which is equals to and. Okay. This and this. We are doing it for this and this. Okay. And you have to use here in the middle. Okay. Between these two conditions. Okay. Just try this. I think hopefully everyone can write it. This is very simple, biggest of three numbers. And also there is not much coding is involved. Already I given like you should use this special operator to validate three numbers. You are giving three numbers only. Then we are checking the conditions. There is one more condition will come. Just validate it and try to write it. Okay. Next is while loop. While loop. So anyone has any idea on while loop? What is while loop and why we need while loop?
Yes, first we should know what is looping. Yeah, looping means executing some set of statements repeatedly until some condition is met. So
Right.
While loop means, and again same like a if condition, we will write a one condition in a while condition. If that condition is true, the block of statement will be continuously executing until that condition is false. So once the condition is false, the control will come out of the loop.
Right. So first we'll see what is loop. Okay. So loops are executed the list of commands repeatedly. Okay. So suppose you have one loop, so it will be continuously executed until the commands you are meeting some certain conditions. Right. The loops are nothing but execute the list of commands repeatedly. So loops are nothing but execute the list of commands repeatedly. Repeatedly again, it will execute in the loop. it will execute repeatedly. Okay, so that is what loop. Okay, in while loop, the while loop enables to execute the similar way, execute the set of commands repeatedly. Okay, set of commands repeatedly until some condition is occurs. So until when I say some condition is occur, in the loop there will be some condition will met, right? Until your loop will be continuously executed. Okay, until your loop will be continuously executed. Then whenever you are execute, you are meeting some condition, right? Then it will come out of that loop. Okay, so this is called while loop. So I'll write in one line, while loop enables you to execute a set of commands repeatedly until some condition occurs. Okay, the syntax for this is while and your command or condition, whatever command or condition you can specify here, then do. Okay, do is the, here we have if. Okay, in if condition, but in while loop, so it will be do, then our statement, whatever the statement you want to execute that. Okay, then done. Okay, do and done. So do is for open, done is for closing. Okay, so let's see this while loop using simple program. Okay, simple program, so which is program to find numbers less than 10. So we want to print a numbers which is less than 10, right? Let's see this, how we can execute this program using while loop. Bin bash. So I want to start my number with 1. So that's the reason I'm taking a variable which is called n equals to 1. Okay, n equals to 1. Okay, I'm telling to program start with number 1. Okay, then I'll open my while loop. Okay, in while loop, so we are writing to find the numbers which is less than 10, right? So what is the relation operator we can use here? Less than. So here my variable is $n, right? So which is $n. Okay, $n, which is my relational operator is less than, which is -lt, right? So we are printing number less than 10, right? Sorry, less than, which is LE, right? LE less than or equal to, if you are printing LT up to till what it will print, if we print less than 10. Okay, if we use LT, so it will print less than 10, right? Okay, let's see this scenario also. -lt, we are printing number less than 10. Less than 10. Okay, we are checking the condition, numbers less than 10, it should print. Okay, then I'll go inside the while loop, which is do Here, what we can do? We need to print the number, right? So whatever the condition is met here, that condition we need to print, right? So which is $n, right? $n. So now tell me, is this program is completed? So what's happening here, if you debug this program, right? Here itself, if you try to debug, so my number is starting with n equals to 1, right? I'm coming inside the while loop. It says n less than, my number is 1. 1 is less than 10. So condition is true, right? Condition is true. Then it is coming inside the do, right? Coming inside the while loop, and it is printing n equals to 1, right? So here my condition is true and it is coming inside and it is printing my n equal to 1, right? So if you end the program here itself, then it will be going to infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop. It is keep on executing, right? The value is always true. It never goes false, right? N equals to 1 less than 10, n equals to 1 less than 10, n equals to 1 less than 10. Condition is always true. It never goes out of the loop, right? So we need to print the numbers which is less than 10, right? For that, so we have to increment the value of n, right? We have to increment the value of n after printing this, right? So for that, I'm printing n equals to, I'm incrementing the value of n, right? I need to increment the value of n $n n plus 1, n plus 1. Okay, I'm closing the brackets. Okay, so what is my condition now? N equals to 1, n is 1 is less than 10. Condition is true. It is printing number 1 in my screen, and it is going to increment my number, which is 2, right? N value is incremented and it is going again to while loop. N value is 2 now, which is 2 is less than 10, right? This is how our program keep on executing and it will give us an input. Okay, so let's see. I'll say while dot sh execute this sh. You see here we are getting expected less than 10, right? Less than 10, it is 9. Clear? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So I have already debugged the program also. You can debug here also by setting the value set -x to debug it. Okay. See here the same way it is doing, right? N value is 1, condition is true, and it is printing that, right? It is printing my first number. Now the value got increased. N value is 2, 2 is less than 10, condition is met, 2 it is printing, right? Now the value got increased again, 3, condition is met. Similar way, see here at the last 9 is less than 10, it is printing my value 9. Okay, after that, so 9 plus 1, condition is false, right? 10 less than 10, condition is false, then it is coming out of my while loop and it is ending the program. Right? If you use LE, if you use LE here instead of LT, so what will happen? What will happen in the output?
10 also will print.
10
10
also.
Ten
is
also
printed. Exactly. See, 10 is also printed. When it is going for 11, the condition is false, then it is coming out of program. Clear? Easy? Yes, no?
yes. Yes.
This is how the while loop will work. So now we'll write one program, okay? Using while loop, we can read the file line by line. We can read the line of the file using the while loop condition, okay? So I will create one file which is read dot, I'll say read. So I'll write few lines here, okay? So let's say, hi, welcome to shell, welcome to DevOps. I'll say welcome to India. So we can read this using shell script. We are reading the line of a, can read the file line by line, okay? So I have written how many lines here? I have written 4 lines, okay? Hi, welcome to shell, welcome to DevOps, welcome to India, right? Written. So let's read this using program, okay? So I'll say while loop to read the file line by line, line by line. It should read and print it in my terminal, okay? So now always my first line is shebang, okay? So here I'll start with my condition while, okay? So I'm reading, right? I'm reading the file. So I'll take the variable as line here, okay? Line is the variable, okay? Then do condition, okay? Then it should read our line, right? Echo, my variable is $line, $line. It should print whatever it is there. Then done. Done. Please go on mute. Please go on mute. Who's this? Done. So here we are reading the each line of a file, right? So now how to pass the file? So I need to pass my read file, right? So we can pass our read line using this redirect operator, okay? Redirector operator, which is $1 is my file. I can specify at the runtime, or you can specify, you can hard code the file here, okay? So here I'm passing at the runtime. So I'm redirecting my file using this redirector operator, okay? So here vi, so while do.sh, save this, sh while do.sh. I'm passing my file as read. You see here it is reading whatever it is there in my file. Yes or no? It's a simple file, simple program, sorry. Simple.
Ajit, is the read a function?
Yes, read is a function, so which is help
Like-
us to read the this variable, whatever it is there in this. So the line is a variable here, which I defined it. So which this is a function which help us to read this variable. Okay. Read this variable.
What does the last line indicate?
So this last line, right? So hope you remember we have a redirector operator, right? So I'm passing. Tell me what's your question.
But the redirect is the opposite symbol, right?
Opposite, but you can pass the file. So file redirection. This is called file redirection operator. Okay. This is called file redirection operator. So you can redirect your file to program. Okay, it's a kind of injection you're doing, right? To this program. Okay. So
Ajit, we can
passing
read a file by using cat command also, right?
cat command also you can do, but we are doing reading program, right? Using the program. We are writing the program here. We can, that is a cat command. See, someone ask you interviewer how you can write a shell script to program, shell script program to read a file. So then you can't say we can use cat command, right? So,
Okay.
so they might say use a while condition to read a file, right? They might be specifically say, so you can use cat command also. Simply you can specify, open a shell script and cat and file name you can put and you can read it, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Ajit.
So you can specify just simply vi, just open one file and put vi and your file name. It will definitely it will execute. Okay, I'm not saying it will not execute. Using while condition, we tried this. Okay.
Ajit,
So
your line is also like keyword only, right?
line is a variable here. Line is a variable here. Okay.
But we didn't define this variable, so it is already present, right? So we can use it. It's like that only, right?
Right, but you don't need to specify it, what I can say outside. You can directly write here your variable and you can execute it. No need to specify externally and do this. So it depends upon how which program you are writing and how you are.
Like
See,
no, for example, if you want to write some other program, like I want to count the number of lines. Okay, that time also, so I can use as a line. So no need to define this variable.
Right, you no need to define. No need to define.
Okay, thank you.
No need to define. Okay. So now, similar way, I have one assignment for you. The same program. So nothing is going to be changed. Only one command is going to be changed. Okay. To print the number of characters in each line of a file. So you need to count the number of characters. Basically, count the number of characters in each line of a file. So this is assignment. Try this. Assignment 3. Count the number of characters. Number of characters in each line of a file. It's simple. Like here, 2 numbers, right? First line, it should read in each line how many characters it is there in each line. Hope you remember this pipe operator, everyone. So you have to pass one command, then you will get this output. Okay. The same program, nothing is going to be changed. Only one command is going to be changed. I have given a hint. Okay. Try this. Okay. So one last program. So I will discuss for today. So which is very important. So hope you all remember factorial of a number. Factorial of a number. So tell me what is factorial first before writing a program. What is factorial of a number?
What factorial means?
Hope you all remember your mathematics factorial, right?
It is a successive multiplication of a particular number from 1.
Right,
Like if you
exactly.
give 5, 1 to 5, it will multiply 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Like that.
Right, exactly. It's a product of all integers from 1 to that number, right? It's a product of all integers from 1 to that number, which number you are trying it. Okay, 1 to that number, 1 to that number. Okay. So, and one more thing, the factorial is not defined for negative number. Okay, keep this in mind. Hope you all remember factorial is not defined for negative number. Negative number, right? Factorial is not defined for negative number. And one more thing you should keep it in mind, factorial of 0 is 1. Okay, so this is all mathematics. Okay, I'm not telling in a program way. This is all the mathematics. If you remember your 10th class or your first and second class, right? So these are all the mathematics. I'm not telling in the program perspective. These are all the mathematics. Factorial of 0 is 1. 0 is 1. Keep all this in mind. Okay. So when you are writing if someone asks you also, you should remember this about the factorial. Okay. So tell me, what is the factorial of 3?
6.
What is the factorial of 3?
6.
6.
6, right? Which is 1 into 2. Sorry. 1 into 2 into 3. Factorial of 3 is 6. What is factorial of 5? 1 into 2 into 120.
120.
Right. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which is equals to 120. Right. So let's write this using shell script. Okay.
20 minutes.
How we can write? We'll see this. Okay. So we are taking two variables here. So we are telling to program to start with number 1. So okay. So in that case, I'm taking n equals to 1. Okay. Okay. N equals to 1. Right. So I'm telling to program start with n equals to 1. Okay. And I'm taking, please go on mute, please. Is that? Please go on mute. My second variable is I'll take the factorial of factorial equals to 1. Okay. So here n is my number, sorry. N is the number which I am passing it. Okay. Let's say if I am trying to find the factorial of 3, then my number is here. I'm taking an input which is the value from n. Okay. So I'm telling factorial of factorial equals to 1, because if I pass the value factorial of 0, it should say 1, right? Factorial of 0 is 1, right? So I'm defining fact equals to 1. Okay. So now the condition. Now we have to take the condition. So I'll take a while loop. So $n is the number which I am passing that number, right? $n hyphen GT greater than which number? Greater than which number?
1.
Greater than here. Greater than 0. It should be greater than 0. It should be greater than 0, right? Because for negative numbers, the factorial is not defined. So always it should be greater than 0. This condition should met before going to the next step, right? Before going to the next step, this condition should met. If this condition is false, then it should directly come out of the loop. Okay. Now do. Here we need to write our calculation. Okay. Here we need to write our calculation. Okay. So here I'll use my variable fact equals to dollar open the double quotes. My variable is dollar fact, right? I'm accessing my variable which is fact 1. Okay, fact equals to 1 here, then star my value, right? My value which is dollar, my value is $n, right? $n, then I'm closing it. Okay, is this enough? So if I end this, done, and if I print it echo factorial of $1 is $fact. If I say this, so what will happen if I execute this? Same, you remember this one. So if I would have been not specify this, so what will happen? Sorry, come again. Someone is answering.
It will go for infinite times.
It will go for infinite loop, right? So see, my number is 3. Let's say 3. So 3 will come here. So 3 is greater than 0. My condition is met. It is coming out of inside the loop, right? It is coming inside the loop. So fact is 1. I have assigned that variable, right? 1 into 3, which is 3, right? Which is 3. Again, the condition is, same condition is going to be executed in the while loop, right? Condition is going infinite loop. So keep on executing 3, 1 into 3, 1 into 3, 1 into 3, 1 into 3, never ending, right? So for that, we have to decrement the value, right? It's a product of from 1 to that number, right? We have to decrement the value here, decrement the value of n, right? How to decrement? N equals to dollar double quotes, double brackets, n minus 1. We are decrementing the value, right? So what is my condition now? N value is 3 here. 3 is greater than 0, condition is met. 1 into 3, 3. Then it is coming here. N is 3, right? 3 minus 1, which is 2. It is going here again, while loop. 2 is greater than 0, condition is met. It is coming here, which is 1 into 2, right? 1 into 2 is
2
coming here.
minus 1.
2 minus 1, condition is still it is there, which is 2 here now. Sorry, 1 here now. 1 is greater than 0, condition is true. 1 into 1, condition met. 1 minus 1, which is 0. 0 coming here. 0 is not greater than 0, condition is false. It is coming out and it is printing the value. Yes or no? Clear? Vi
Yes.
fact.sh. Let's debug this program. Okay. sh fact.sh. I'm passing my variable as 3 itself for understanding. Okay. So we are getting expected output, right? Factorial of 3 is 6. How it is executing? Let's debug. Set -x. See here, my n value is 3 and my factorial of variable is 1, right? 3 is greater than 0. Condition is true. Fact equal to 3. 1 into 3 is 3, right? Now the value got decremented. N value is 2. 2 is greater than 0, which is condition is now my value is 3, right? Now my value is 3. 3 into 2 is 6, right? 3 into 2 is 6. Now my n value is reduced to 1. 1 is greater than 0, right? 1 is greater than 0. Condition is still true. 1 into my fact value is 6 here. See here, 1 into 6 is 6. Okay. Now my n value is decremented to 0. Condition is false and it is printing my value coming out of that loop and printing. Clear? Yes, no?
Yeah, Ajit, clear.
Yes, Ajit.
This is how you can debug and write the program. See, first you need to understand what you need to write in the program and you need to know the logic first. You need to know the logic
Ajit,
first.
can you give 0 here? In the initial n is equals to 0. What will the?
It will come out of condition will be false. Condition will be false. Factorial of 0 is 1, right?
Yeah.
We are getting output, right?
But here we mentioned 0 is greater than 0. We can use greater than or equal if we mention means.
Greater than or equal to, then what you are checking here?
Factorial. Okay.
You understand the factorial of factorial first. Why you want to specify greater than or equals to, right? So what we are checking here, my condition is that number should be greater than 0, right? It should
Yeah.
not be a negative number.
Okay.
It
Okay.
should not be a negative number. If we specify greater than or equal to, it is not making any sense, right? Greater than equal to. So here to find out the factorial of number, so what's our condition? It should not be a negative number 1, and it should not be a 0 also, right? Because factorial of 0 is 1. So that is what we are checking. That's the reason it is greater than here. If we specify greater than or equal to, it is not making any sense, right? So yeah, make sure which condition you are using. You have to use in the program. Clear? Just try all these scenarios by yourself. Don't copy any programs. Don't Google. Okay, you can write the programs in multiple ways. Okay. So not only this way, you can write the program in multiple ways. Your own ways also you can try. So try all this program, write yourself. So you might face some syntax errors, right? So since here I know where to give space, where to give exact inputs, so I am not getting any errors, right? Since you are doing it first time, so you might face the errors. So that's how you need to learn, right? Try your own way. Right? Don't copy paste anything. Just write it directly on the Linux machine. This Linux, write it directly there. Okay, then you will get to know if any syntax errors. So whenever you fixed it, you will be understanding in a better way. Okay. So that's all for today's session. So we can discuss a few more topics, few more programs in tomorrow's session. Try all these scenarios, all these assignments. Okay. Okay, we can wrap up today's session. We can connect back tomorrow. Sorry, no, tomorrow there won't be any class. In the morning, we will connect on Sunday. Okay, Sunday 7 a.m.
Ajit,
Sunday, what time, Ajit? Morning or
Same
afternoon?
time. Yeah, same time, morning. We'll
7
connect.
o'clock.
Yes.
Ajit, can we get the recordings on the same day? Possible.
Recordings. Okay,
On the
sure.
same day.
I'll inform. I will inform the team to share the recordings. Okay. Sure.
Sunday's class.
Tomorrow, no. Tomorrow there won't be any class. We will connect Sunday. I'll write here. Tomorrow, no class. Just 29th.
I had actually the two Ubuntu machines.
You
But
got error.
Yeah, public key denied showing.
Yeah, that public key is denied due to somewhere your permission issue. Even I have noticed.
Same thing I've tried 2-3 times with the different users.
Correct.
But then also
Correct.
it is not. But
Right.
same steps I did in Linux, but that is working.
Yeah, right. So there is some issue with that. Your public key is not supporting. Even I faced that issue one time. Okay.
If possible,
So
can you take like how to
I
connect
don't know.
Ubuntu or Ubuntu Linux? If possible.
So don't worry about the passwordless connection much. Okay. That passwordless connection why I have discussed is the reason is you should be aware of it. So how the passwordless connection is going to be happen. So ideally that is taken care by your Linux administrator. Okay, that setup will be taken care by your Linux administrator, but we can discuss. But it's like bit tricky, like how you can enable it, since I have shown you in the EC2 instance, right?
Yeah, EC2 instance. So that it
Try
is working.
creating.
Same method,
Correct.
right?
In Ubuntu, there is some security reason. I'm not sure
But
what they
that's what
did.
I told. There are so many things there which are enabled in EC2. There it was not enabled, that lines.
Correct. There is something they have changed it recently. So not
Okay.
sure what is they changed in the operating system level. So if I get to know, definitely I'll share it with you
Even
all.
I will
Okay.
try to explore. Is there any
Ah.
other method to do this passwordless connection apart from this editing sudo
Only
users and SHS file?
see, actually, in EC2 you don't need to edit the sudo file also. Okay. In so, but if you do it in EC2, but only changes you need to do is
Configure file.
config file, SSH config file.
Config
If
file.
you enable that both S, right? So then it should work in both the server, public key authentication and password authentication. If you enable, then it should work. But in
So no need of
Ubuntu,
adding a user also in a sudo is.
in
Right?
EC2 it is not required. In EC2 instance, Amazon EC2 instance, it is not required. But in Ubuntu, it is required. But somewhere it is some policy they might have been changed in the security level. That's the reason we are getting a error called your public keys.
Public key, yes.
Some error we are getting. So not sure what they changed in the operating system level, the security. But that used to be work. So I have shown you shown the other classes, and I have been executed in my project as well. But not sure what they changed in the recent version of the Linux.
Ubuntu.
But right in recent version of Ubuntu.
And one more thing, actually, from AWS account I've created, right? It's actually I got a message like 85% of your the servers
Right,
are
you have
used.
used. Right, you have
So
used
what
that
to do
sample.
next?
No choice.
I can
Create
I
one
can
more.
create one more email ID. At least will it work?
Yes, it will work.
Okay.
Create one more account and do it, because
One more
only they
account
can offer.
a different
Yes.
email ID, I think now.
Yes, different email ID. Yes, not with us.
Thank you.
720 hours will be exhausted, right? So you might be
Yeah, it
tried.
is just giving a reminder that 85% is used.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. So after that, definitely you will get charged from the AWS.
It's